What's the word, everybody? It's the Background Noise Gang. We're back for season 2. Thank y'all so much for supporting us and showing us love. Been getting messages all summer like, yo, we missed the pod, giving us prompts, getting questions from Licensed Therapy. We're so grateful. We got Tay in the motherfucking building. We got Christian in the motherfucking building. And we're ready to kick this off.
Derek in the building.
And I'm here as well. Indeed. Okay, so guys, first of all, how's your summer been going?
It's been a great summer so far.
It's been going well. June always treats me well because it's the best month of the year.
Very true.
Tell us why it's the best month, Tay.
Because I am born in it and God has blessed.
Indeed.
Know? So yeah.
Y'all's birthdays is what? Like this weekend, right? Both of y'all?
Mine is on tomorrow.
Yes, and I was fully aware of that.
No, you weren't.
I totally knew that. And yours is the 28th. Damn it. Okay, I thought it was like the 22nd. Okay.
Hey, man.
Listen. All
Knowing this man since 7th grade, mind you.
It's okay. I struggle with your birthday too.
Okay, cool.
August
21st.
27th.
21st. Okay,
Wow.
see, that's okay.
Yeah.
No one remembers, but the point
He heard me say it.
The important thing is we love each other, and that's all that really
Yeah.
matters at the end of the day.
It's kind of hard. But yeah.
Okay, here
There
we
are
go.
calendars for a reason, everybody.
Well, whatever.
True.
All right, okay. All right. So, first things first, let's hop into some prompts. Shouts out to the fans because a lot of these prompts have come from you guys. All right, guys. So, first prompt is Juneteenth. You can see Tay's representing with her tee on. Shout out to Rosa Parks.
No.
And, I work for a black-owned business, so, I'm getting a day off regardless. But it is a federal holiday. Hopefully our schools and other businesses will start to follow suit soon. But to that point, we want to know, guys, would you send your kids to a black school? So when I say black, I don't mean like a black public school. I mean like a private school that's maybe run like a black church, like the one we went to, and or an HBCU. Tay, we'll start with you, then we'll go Christian, we'll go me.
I think that it's important for my black children to go to a black school, especially during their adolescence. No shade to anyone who went to a white school or a mixed school when you were in middle school or anything. But I just always tend to notice that the black girls were having permed hair, or their hair looked a mess, or I don't know, they were just wearing things that weren't fitting for the black woman body. And I just always saw those girls when I was younger, and I was just like, oh, you can tell she goes to a white school. Like, edges all over the place. Don't know what
No shade.
Oh yeah, no shade at all. No shade at all. But yeah, I just think it's really important to build that community, like when you're little. Like you can go to college, you can do whatever you want then because you're like almost an adult. But I just feel like that adolescence, that community is very important. And I don't want my children to miss out on that. Like, I know people want diversity and things like that.
It's not that
You'll get that later.
Diversity
like,
is not
during
that
the adolescence, I think it's important to be surrounded by people who look like you and things like that. In terms of Christianity, like going to a Christian school, I would like a Christian school only because I feel like we're so close because we went to a Christian school. I feel that I've noticed people who went to public school, they're just not that tight after public school. But that could just be my opinion. I don't know. But yeah.
No, I completely agree. I think diversity is cool, but it's like, is it that cool when you don't really know the people? Like, you can't come home and be like, okay, I got to get with the family that's not really blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's just really, 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 really nice. You know what I'm saying? And then also, man, it's just like, you want your kid to be connected with the culture in some kind of way. I would hate for my kid not to experience, hairline hazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hate that.
Definitely.
He must experience that. It must be experienced. So, and that's what, that's the makings of a black man. That's why we value the barbershop so much. Because we were bullied into it.
I agree. I think for me, especially as someone who's like a little mixed, like you hear like, I never got it. I always thought it was corny, but the mixed kids talk about, oh, like, I'm not accepted by these people or that people, whatever. But me growing up, black church, black school, black family my whole life. So I never questioned who I really like. Yeah, you hear the jokes. Like, I know I look Mexican or Indian or whatever, but I never thought, oh, no, I'm not really black or I'm not accepted by black. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in a black community. You know what I'm saying? And so I never really questioned that. And I'm sure my kids are going to look racially ambiguous like me. And so I definitely want them to be in an environment so they know exactly who they are. And they're not confused about who they are when they leave. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I will say this, God willing, I'll be hella rich when I have kids, but I'm also not going to send my kids to no bullshit ass private school just because it's black. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want the facilities to be nice. I want, you know what I'm saying? Same for like in college. Like if I'm rich, for example, let's say I'm rich, and you know, of course I went to Oakwood, and I want my kids to go to Oakwood. If I'm rich, I'm going to put money into the school first. So that I know my kids are going into a place where like, I know the dorm rooms are going to be nice. Like, I don't want my daughter to be sleeping in a dorm, not to just randomly throw shots at my school, but.
How many black schools do we know that look like that though? I haven't seen any.
I haven't seen them, but I've never met an HBCU graduate without the same complaints as myself.
100%. And it does make it feel like a connection in the community. But I mean, even under that, like think about when we were going to high schools and playing them in like when we were in high school. Obviously, their schools were always better than ours. But it was never an all black school. It was either a mixed or white with a few black.
Or like one of them mega churches that got like a fucking city.
So with that in mind, since we're talking about Juneteenth and things, you know, and this is a social media stat, so it may not be true, but y'all may have seen like the stat where it's like an Asian wedding and an African wedding and an African American wedding, and the gifts that the bride and the groom receive, and the money is like extremely different in all of the cultures, and the black one has the least amount of money given. So I think it's a problem. Happy Juneteenth. I think it's a problem. We don't give back a lot.
Right.
We don't.
Great segue.
We don't get back.
Great segue. This was sent to us via the unlicensed therapy link, but we'll just add it in right now. The question is, how long should you depend / live with your parents? When do you guys think is a good time to move out, if anything? The black community has a tendency to kick kids out at a certain age, but I think it causes more harm than good. So to the point of like giving money and supporting your kids and stuff, when do you guys think is a good time to move out? And do you think the black parents put too much emphasis on getting the kids out of the house versus letting them like develop?
I know my mother wants like financial freedom for me, so like when I can just like fully take care of myself, you know, like I don't think she would like kick me out and just be like figure it out. You know, I know there are certain parents who do that. But I think once I can really fund everything that I got going on, like, well, it doesn't have to be completely, of course, but, like, you don't want your child to be, like, fucked up if they don't have to be. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to make you struggle more. Like, if you need a month or two or if you need help with this, then sure. Like, I have no problem doing that. But... yeah.
I agree, and I'm starting to notice that with a lot of parents too, like especially now because like the economy is so boo boo, and it's like they kind of notice they're like, man, they like literally I've heard like my pastor, I've heard friends in the church, they'll be like, yeah, like how as long as y'all need to stay, just because they understand it's hard as hell just to live at all. So it's like definitely. And then my parents, they know I'm trying to get out as soon as I possibly can, so they know it's like I'm not really taking them up on that offer for real. So it's like. They know there's a sense of urgency on my side, so there's no need for...
Yeah, no, same. My parents, like, they'd let me stay as long as I needed to. I'm very grateful. Yeah. But I also, you know, I just want to be on my own. But I think as long as your kid knows, like for example, like, I get, maybe, like, you got a kid that's obviously not leaving the couch without a push. Right. That's one thing. And I think maybe it's like, look, you're going to have to go figure this out. Yeah. But if all else fails, you do have a place here. Yeah. But... it is to your detriment if I allow you to stay here right now. Right.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Enabling you to be a bum.
Yeah. Exactly, and I think that's always a big. I think black parents are evolving now, especially specifically with our generation of children. But I think that it was definitely a thing back in the day, like. You know, if you're here after high school and you're not going to college, why are you not working? You know
I feel like that's a millennial thing.
Maybe. And I think a lot of millennials, like especially if you have millennial, my parents are a little older than millennials, but if you have millennial parents, they probably experience
No,
that.
I mean, that's a millennial child thing that experiences that, no?
What do you mean?
That well, I guess actually to your point, it would be kind of like both. I don't know what your parents are.
My parents are a little old. Millennials wouldn't be in their 60s.
Boomers?
They're younger than baby boomers.
Yeah, so my parents were born in the 60s. So that would be right before they should have millennial children. They just had me hella late.
No,
they should have millennial children.
What I'm saying is,
because millennials right before us. I feel like that type of culture continued and low-key ended at millennials and before.
Right, I agree.
Because I mean, niggas was getting married at 18 when they, you know, at a certain point.
I think if you're a child of a millennial, your parents are a lot more understanding of like your plight and all that 100%. Shit. Definitely.
Except in the case of niggas like us, where we have parents who are not millennials. 100%. So I think if you're a child and you're Gen Z, that's what it is. I feel like you're gonna experience that less. Now, there may be niggas who grow up in a different culture who may experience differently though. Because
I was actually gonna go back to somebody's point about giving back to the schools. Because for instance, my high school is a private school, a black high school, and I guess historic. And when my mom went there like a jillion years ago, no shade, and then I went there and she came and she was like, it's exactly as I left it, right? And then there's that whole thing where you can't tear down historic buildings. So now I guess alumni has renovated all of the dorms, the CAF, the school building, and I guess because we're getting younger and we're richer, or I don't know, but we're giving back, and I think that's a good idea. Oh, yeah. But, you know, and also they only donate to Morehouse and Spelman, and the only HBCUs that they know of, like, so... I don't know. And it's like Oakwood, like our alumni, we're pretty successful.
Yeah, it's rich niggas. That's
so
alumni.
I don't understand. Wade Hall, help!
Yeah. I remember how fucked that shit was. Like Edwards, yeah, that was horrible. Yeah. It was legitimately like a cold prison cell. Like the walls were bland.
How we lived in there without actually going crazy is insane.
Like it was bad.
Going from Holland to Edwards.
I think it was purely the fact that we were just young dudes.
100%.
That was the only thing.
When I was young and I would see my brother and going to Edwards, it was like that. It was already horrendous. Yeah. And that was like, he graduated in like 2010.
One bathroom, 8 niggas. It's a hot and steamy. Then someone comes in and drops a fat shit. I mean, like, what the?
Now that I think about it, it's actually selfish of you to lock the door when you're taking a shower because you never know. And I will lock the door constantly.
Yeah. I don't want niggas in here.
No.
Steamy shit.
No. Hold that in, brother.
I mean,
Make
it
that
also
sphincter work.
Does build character. It does. We all have the same stories, but I don't think we should live like that. But going back to, the Juneteenth stuff, like, why, and the question of sending our children to black schools, why did we fight so hard for integration? Just for us to want to be at our own school.
That is actually a very good point.
Yeah.
I heard a theory that integration happened because the black dollar was becoming too powerful. You think of like a Tulsa, for example. But like what happens is we can only depend on ourselves, right? And so people don't know this, but like right after slavery, black people acclimated quickly because the slaves had all the trade skills. So they were blacksmiths. They could make clothes. They could cook. They could till the land. So it's like very quickly, I'm going to a black grocery store, a black doctor, black dentist, black lawyer. And you hear you talk about the Jewish community. The Jewish dollar circulates for 14 days before it leaves because they have community, right? Black people, we don't have that. Even though we have areas that's all black, we're going to Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Understandable. You may not be able to get everything you want from the black grocery store or whatever, but like
that's because they made it that way. Though.
The black dollar, we were having too much financial power, and if we have that financial power, we can dictate election, we can dictate law.
I can't. You're actually gonna make me upset. We got to move on to the next topic.
Community guys, buy black. And here's another thing, real quick. I was watching a podcast, and this Jewish guy was saying, Jewish people will still support a Jewish business even if they don't like it, but the Jewish business hears criticism from the customers. Black people don't do that. So they're like, hey, look, this is good. Let's say, I don't know, I'm buying a hat. Nice hat, but after a couple of weeks, it starts to fray on the edge. You need to figure that out.
Niggas be sensitive, though.
Niggas
you can't
is
really
way
do
too
that.
sensitive. You can't tell them this shit's not good enough, or, hey, if you want me to pay top dollar.
Because I was thinking about that when you were talking about buy black, and I agree with buying black. It's just sometimes it's hard, especially like, most cases, our restaurants, at least Atlanta, boo-boo. It's and it's expensive.
Rules, like, why am I paying $35 for fucking bottomless mimosas, but I can't share my motherfucking mimosa? Are you kidding me?
I bought the bottomless mimosa. It's my mimosa. Let me share how I please. Yeah.
So it's like, that's fucking stupid. It's annoying as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta cut that shit out, man.
And the customer service is also flakes.
Yeah.
Boo-boo
it's very
flakes. It's bad.
Very bad. No professionalism at all.
It's bad. And to that point, you start arguing with, or you start even complaining to them about the professionalism. That's when fights happen and all that foolishness. So it's like, and once again, these characteristics, these traits, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. None of these things are our fault. None of it. Not directly, at least.
But at some point, we do have to take responsibility.
100%. But at the root of it all, it is not our fault. I'm standing on that.
I don't know. Yes, and to close out that convo, I just want to say support black businesses, support small businesses that are black. Listen, just really quickly, I needed new tires for my car. I went to the white people. This man was like, your tires are done for, all for. Now, we can do it right now. I'm like, no, it's okay, don't worry about it. I come home to Atlanta, go to the tire shop. He's like, yeah, just the front two, those last two, you've got 6 months of life left on those. Do you see? Yeah. So don't trust the white man, ever. And if you're white listening, I'm sorry, I'm joking. But,
no, we're peddling race hate.
But yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I hope you guys had a good Juneteenth by the time you guys watch this. And yeah.
Honestly, I hate to do the white-black thing, but to be honest, my white mechanic is trustworthy. He does good work. But it's little things, right? So for example, I have a Volkswagen, so I have to go to Volkswagen or like German-specific mechanics, right? And so the guy I went to, great. He's fantastic, great at his job. I had to get some work done on the car. I had to use my insurance. And so he's like, all right, we did it, whatever. I had a separate incident, I had to use my insurance. And I go to a black dealer this time that also focuses on Volkswagen, not a black dealer, but a black mechanic. And he goes, okay, so the insurance only allows us to use the money for used parts. If you want new parts, you have to pay the difference. I had no idea. He was like, we only put new parts in people's cars. We don't put used parts in people's cars. I'm like, God damn it, if that ain't a black-owned business. You know what I'm saying? Like the other guy didn't even tell me about that. Like, because I also didn't want used parts in my car. You know what I'm saying? I wanted brand new shit. And so, like, that, like, little things like...
What is that about? Like...
I got mad. I called my insurance like, yo, what the fuck is this about? Like, what the fuck am I paying y'all this money for monthly? She was like, listen, bro, relax. Like, she was like, the governing body over all of the insurance companies makes that rule to where the insurance companies can only pay for used parts. And if you want more, then you have to pay the difference yourself. But yeah, it's a fucking...
I guess we just really look out for each other, which is a given. We've always been doing that, so...
And we got to keep doing it. Yeah. All right. Are we moving on?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about social obligation and acceptance versus tolerance. This came from a fan. Shout out to Sache. We appreciate you, my boy, for tuning in and fucking with us.
Yes, sir.
So.
Explain on that like a little bit so I can like understand.
So I'm assuming, with social obligation, for example, I'm assuming what, in terms of social obligation, it's like I may not like, okay, let's do an easy one. Like I may be racist, right? But tolerance and social obligation dictates that I cannot treat people of other races poorly on my job or in public. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, if I own a restaurant, you know what I'm saying, I can't not serve black people or Mexicans or white people because I'm black or whatever. So that would be tolerance / social obligation, right? But acceptance is like, I'll be friends with you. I'll invite you to my house. Your son can date my daughter. That kind of thing. And so Sache didn't really give us a question in regard to that. So I'll just pose one. As a Christian, as a black person, do you care to be accepted or do you just want tolerance?
I would like to be accepted, I think. Who? It depends. It depends on how I'm tolerated, honestly.
Okay.
Like, because do I tolerate other races? I possibly might. But I also think I accept them too. It's kind of like if I was cool with a white girl and she is always barefoot and always smelling like wet grass. It's just
No
kind
shade.
of like no shade at all. It's just like
Any white viewers we got today is just gone. We've lost
okay.
everybody.
Sorry, I'm sorry,
Nah,
guys.
listen, it's
Okay. For instance, ooh, sorry, I'm just really trying to
difficult
watch
for
what
you,
I say.
Hans. It's
Yes,
hard.
No, because I lived with a white person.
That's right.
I just
forgot about that.
don't know.
Tay lived in Portland, Oregon for some time.
Yes.
The whitest place in
it
America.
was
It's
just
white
kind of
utopia.
like- it was just kind of like cleaning. Cleaning is different for black people and white people.
I agree.
And I felt that the cleaning that was going on was not clean enough for me.
Was not up to par.
Yes. And although there was some cleaning happening, I needed bleach to be implemented in the tub. I needed, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, I know that you're cleaning, but I feel like I need to clean before I get in the shower.
Respect.
I don't know where
How
I
did
was going with
that person feel when they would see you cleaning after they cleaned?
I feel like it was just a learning experience. Like, you know, just like, hey, you do things this way and I do things this way. And do you think the way that I'm doing it is better than your way? And I just want to help you for the culture, for the people, you know. The Fabuloso on the stove wasn't familiar. When I told her about that, she was like, what?
Yeah.
Black people do that all the time. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel like acceptance is like the most, like, that's what we would want. Like, I want you to accept me for my locks and all of that stuff, you know, in the workplace, everywhere. So acceptance. Tolerating is just like, you know, it's forcing it. So acceptance, yeah.
I feel like acceptance is better. I feel like acceptance is more Christ-like. Tolerance is just like... Tolerance is more realistic. So, like, tolerance is what you're going to see. Rarely going to see acceptance.
Right. Okay.
And I don't even... I think that's just a human thing.
I feel like for me, I just assuming tolerance equals like respecting my ability to go about my life. So I don't want, like, you don't have to like me, but I don't want you to be able to stop me from working, eating, and enjoying the things that America has to offer. You know what I'm saying? That's really it. Like, you don't have to like me. We don't have to be buddy-buddy. Right. But on the job, you're not going to disrespect me. Right. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to make my job harder. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like, I get a fair chance to be a good worker, a good whatever, like everybody else type shit.
I do have a problem with living here and other races, like, do not know English.
So you be like, why aren't you speaking English right now?
It's just, wow. I need you to just basic English, yes or no. Can you help me? Can I have water? Like, just the basic, like, phrases. That's really frustrating. Because now it's like, when you apply for a job, it's like, oh, do you speak Spanish? No. And I'm not going to learn Spanish.
This is America.
to get, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to get paid, like, people are getting minors in Spanish or all of that just to get a bonus. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, no, facts.
Especially in the healthcare system, it's like, oh, that's a real big deal if you can speak Spanish. Like, that's really frustrating to me. But I try to be Christian-like and just like, wow, you're here in the emergency room crying out for help because your stomach hurts, but nobody can help you. Whose fault is that?
No shade.
Whose fault is that? I don't
Jesus, give me
know.
shit.
And then it's like you have your children there, like, translating for you. It's crazy.
That is wild.
What were you gonna say?
I feel like Chris.
I'm just scared of all our white and immigrant
I know.
and black girls who grew up with white girls. Like if that was our demographic, they're gone out the park.
I feel like I don't know, man. I feel like I've said this before on the pod. I'm gonna say it again just in case, just since we're talking about it. Juneteenth is like a federal holiday, and as African Americans, we are Americans. And I wonder, right? I feel like people are gonna disagree with me. And have an open mind. Hear me out. I wonder if African Americans were felt or acted as American as we do when we watch the Olympics on a day-to-day, how much that would do for like race relations. I think a big problem is that we are American, and we are, right? Like, I'm an American motherfucking citizen no matter what, right? But we, at every turn, or at a lot of times, we like, I don't fuck with America. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to be associated with it, but I want to retain all the rights. And we do get to retain all the rights and say those things because we have free speech. We get to enjoy all of that. Fuck you if you think we can't. However, I wonder how much better relations would be with like those super patriotic Republican white people if they felt like black people were as America as they are. The way, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we are Americans. And we don't force them to realize that by claiming it as our own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because for example, there's a lot of white people that feel the exact same way as Tay about people not fucking speaking English or someone getting a fucking bonus on a job just because they got a minor in Spanish. And that's a fair argument. And there's a lot of people that would agree with her that we would otherwise say we're racist. But shit, I'm an American. Why the fuck should I have to learn another language for someone that's not American? That's a valid point to a lot of people. And that black and white people alike share that sentiment, right? But we're going to call a white person racist. And that same white person is going to call themselves patriotic. Because this is motherfucking America. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like as African Americans, we have to remember that this is our country just as much as it is anybody else's. And we have to force them to realize that. And it doesn't help by saying, I wish I wasn't this, or I wish I wasn't that. Like, I feel like we would do a lot for race relations. I'm not saying be sympathetic towards any bullshit behavior by simply being patriotic.
Wow.
Like how we are when we watch like fucking, what's the runner's name? Alice and Felix. You know what I'm saying?
But what if like most of our experiences with this country is just what we complain about from the jump, from the very, very jump.
For sure.
From the very jump.
When we say we, right? Like, so for example, right? The shit with like the police is an easy one.
Okay.
Right? I'm not saying that we're excusing any of that. I'm not saying any of that is okay.
But if it is the foundation of the country,
Right.
if it is literally the foundation of what we're standing
I'm saying
on.
is the only way we can change that is if we force them to see us as Americans. That's the only way. Cause like, yeah, that's how I feel.
I feel like
I don't know, man. I feel like them seeing us as Americans, I don't think that's the issue.
Okay.
I think it's them just not being decent enough to treat us as human beings. But I wouldn't expect any African American to be hoorah for America just because they live in the country. When since the jump, I'm talking about ancestors. Since the jump, we've been treated like booty cheeks deluxe. Like I won't do that. Like it's just not like if niggas ask me.
I don't be doing that either.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like, I'm talking to
Well, I'm just saying like I think we show patriotism in a different way.
Okay.
By getting involved. And I wouldn't expect us to do it any different because we have been, ever since we were able to use our free speech, we've been using it to protest because we had to.
Right.
So that's just, now some of us take it to the next level. That would be the ignorant. But I wouldn't expect me to go to another country being gung-ho about America. I also have my qualms with America. Like,
respect, I think, well, okay, that's respect. I see what you're saying.
I think what it is just really like the oppression thing. Like we can be patriotic, but we're definitely at a disposition. Like when you have a trial and you're a black man, like they're still seeing you as a nigga. Like, so I think that's like we can do all we can. We're accepted, but it's like the system, like everything's kind of like built against us, kind of in a way. So
are we?
And what I'm saying is, to that point, the system is built against us, right? And the lawmakers and the people in Congress are probably let's say that these niggas are also against us, right? Mm-hmm. That being said, we will never get help in changing law if we also don't like. Okay, what I'm saying is, if we want laws to really change, those ignorant white people have to vote in our favor as well. And because they're never now, once again, I'm not saying show out for the white man. Mm-hmm. That's not what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, you are an American. Right. So if you're equating being proud of my Americanness to showing out for white people, we just see it differently.
For sure.
Because then you don't see yourself as American.
That's
at the end of the day.
Yeah, like.
So what I'm saying, my fault, real quick. I'm gonna end, I swear. But like at the end of the day, if we want to really affect change, especially in the law, if we've got those ignorant white people that simply just don't know, and we can, I bet money I could have a deeper conversation. Like if I approach a white person and I'm quote unquote patriotic, I don't have to be like fucking America eagle across my chest, but like if I can display that, okay, I'm proud to be an American, right? I bet I can get a lot farther with the ignorant white person from fucking Kansas than I could be in like. Now, I'm not even saying don't be proud of my blackness. I'm just not saying hide my blackness either. But I bet I can get a lot farther than I'm a black man. The system is fucking treating me like shit and fuck America. But I want all these rights. Okay. That white person's like, well, you enjoy all the same freedoms I do. You get to do whatever it is. That's what all their talking points are going to be. And what I'm saying is, right. And what I'm saying is like, I think if we were simply just like, show more pride as Americans, then we would be able to change the minds of a lot of white people whose votes we need. At the end of the day, we need those motherfucking votes to get those laws changed. And we need them to vote in like in a place like fucking Wyoming where there's two black people, they're gonna vote in a white senator. Sure. And we need them to vote in a white senator that understands the black person's plight. And we're not gonna get those people on board if they think we fucking hate America.
So let me ask you this then. What would you expect a black person to say in terms of patriotism?
I don't know, but also I'm not gonna be like fuck July the 4th. You know what I'm saying? That's even if the slaves weren't freed, nigga, I'm free today and it's a day off work. I can fucking shoot my fireworks, eat barbecue, and enjoy being a greedy American. Like, that's fucking fire. Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't give a flying fuck. You niggas ain't moving nowhere else. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
as an immigrant or someone who has dual citizenship, I'm proud to be American because I have rights and stuff. Like, that's cool. Like, if I was in Africa or some country, like, some women still can't drive, women can't vote, women can't do anything. Like, I'm proud of those things. Those are cool, like, you know. But at the end of the day, though, they're going to shoot us, Derek.
Agreed. I'm not saying that these niggas are righteous.
I hear what you're saying. I just feel like as African Americans, we're patriotic enough. Like, some of our ancestors, and this is no disrespect, nobody's ancestors were stupid enough to join the war. Couldn't be me. They would have to lock me in prison. It wouldn't be me. Yeah. Even to this day, if they asked me,
I never do
it. I would just say, go ahead and do it, because you're not gonna get me out there. I refuse to risk my life for this country. And I understand what you. And that sounds bad. Right. Now that's bad.
And so this white person in Wyoming is gonna be like, so you're not willing to fight for the rights that you enjoy. And you're right. And for that, fuck anything you want from me.
You're asking me to fight for something
we
that,
can't
first
let go
of all,
slavery. We can't let go of
but it's not just that, Tay.
I'm not saying, I would like to say for the record, I'm not saying let go of that. That's not what I'm saying.
What I'm suggesting is,
it's more so. It's very, very difficult. It would be like asking Daniel to fight for Babylon just because they kept him alive. Technically, he did work in the, in the government, but he had to.
Right.
And also he was a Christian. So he's just following orders
For sure.
from God more than anything.
For sure.
But you can't expect that nigga to go to war for King Darius. That's not his real king for real.
Right.
God didn't ask none of them niggas to do that from what I understand.
Right. But you're saying Darius not his real king for real. So what I'm saying is, if we're making the parallel, you're saying America's not my country, but I'm here to enjoy the rights. I'm here to, that's what I'm saying. Like, what we have to make a decision. Is this, are we American or not?
Shout out to Black Lives Matter.
Shout out to Black Lives Matter. The movement, not the organization. Okay, let me say it this way. We need to then let those white people in Wyoming know it's not black people versus America. It's us versus the government. Because let's be real. Nobody trusts the government. Like, here's the thing. Of course, there was a time, and we still live in a time where there's hella racist people. But I think I gotta give credit. A coworker made this point, and I thought it was a good point. He is a white guy. He said, I think now, compared to back in the 60s, for example, people have these stereotypical opinions, but it's not based in hate. It's just based in the tradition in which they were raised.
That's respect.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, it's not that I'm a white person from Southern Alabama and I hate black people. I've just grown up with all these stereotypes being reinforced.
Being raised to think that white people smell a certain way. Apart from your experience. Apart from your experience, right? Or that black people can't swim, right? These are easy ones, of course. Right. But you get the point I'm making, right? It's because we do like our guns. To our detriment, unfortunately.
We do be killing.
But is that our fault?
Okay, yes. I'm gonna explain why. I'm not in the streets by any means.
None of us are.
But I do be liking to watch those podcasts and shit with street niggas and gangsters, whatever. 100%. And there was one specifically, this was actually a comedian said this. He said he had a friend that was real big in the streets. And he was like international level drug dealer. And the drug dealer went to China to, what's his name? I can't think of the comedian's name. I'm going to put it because he said this. This is his story. But he was like, his homeboy that's a drug dealer went to China and he was talking to the Chinese boss. And the Chinese said, black people are very interesting because everybody wants to be like you. We dress like you. We talk like you. We sing your music. Y'all should be the most powerful people, but y'all lack unity. He said, it's very easy to get y'all to turn against each other.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, when it comes to killing each other, at some point, white people, when's the last time white people had a hand in us killing each other? Maybe in the beginning, they figured out some way, but at this point, that's us. That's our problem. Like, it's our fault that niggas keep dying and keep shooting each other. We have no interest in stopping that shit from happening. And by we, I mean the niggas that's doing it, like the niggas that's in the street, right? Assuming that's where the most of it comes from. Well, that is where most of it comes from.
Christian said this earlier. It's not our fault, Derek. They separated us. They put that light-skinned niggas inside the house and dark-skinned niggas outside. I hear you,
I think that's poverty related. Nah, I don't think that's because if that was the case, we'd be killing each other in the suburbs.
No, look, this is what I'm saying. I'm more so suggesting that one. I want to first of all say I 100% agree that we do have to take responsibility and accountability for these things to an extent, but the root of the issue is not our fault.
Because not even us just being in the suburbs going as far as killing each other, but we're still envious. We're still black as fuck, like hating on other black people. Like, your house is bigger than yours. My house is bigger.
I mean, that's not. But at what point is it didn't start with us gonna stop becoming? At some point, the white people aren't gonna come and unify us. The white people are gonna come and stop us from shooting each other. So at what point are we gonna be like, take this fucking bull by the horns and do it our goddamn selves?
You're absolutely right that that's what we need to do. But I also think that this culture has been ingrained in us for so long, and if there was ever a time where it wasn't, the only example I know being Tulsa, Oklahoma, where niggas are thriving and there's unity and things that, it's burned down. Right. You know what I'm saying? When we look at things like our music, I'm starting to come to the understanding, or at least the belief, that niggas will literally like anything. It's the media that decides what becomes popular. Right. So what do you notice with most artists, especially African American artists who are popular, what they promote? You know what I'm saying? you notice what they promote. I'm sure there are thousands of other artists promoting literally anything else. Yeah. But they choose these niggas. I'm not saying everybody's an industry plant. Obviously, niggas are gonna, flock to a beat that grooves and things like that. But you notice what a lot of the industry puts their time into. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this culture that you're speaking of, although we can change it, it's hard to do something when, one, it's been ingrained in us since the jump, like since we've been here, and it's nurtured in every generation in one way or another. And I'm not trying to call the white man the devil or anything like that. If anything, it goes to show how weakened our community is and has been. But it's only that way because that's what's been going on since the jump. Right. So I don't disagree that we got to take care of the issue. Yeah. I just think it's extremely, extremely difficult when the issue has been born in us from the jump. Right. Like we were once that person. We were completely destroyed in being that person as a people, and we have been nurtured against being that person up until this day. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think that you're right, but however, we got to start somewhere. Like the civil rights movement didn't start with Martin Luther King. That's true. Niggas lived and died and didn't see their dreams come true. Like years of that being ingrained is gonna take years to get rid of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we've started though.
And I agree.
Rappers, stop the violence, stop the,
Yeah.
I feel like it started. It's just not. On the other hand, you have rappers going on peon ass niggas who don't do shit, get up and they be talking down,
I prefer hating on niggas that's not doing nothing with their lives than supporting violence, right? Like, I'd much rather listen to music like, you a broke ass nigga standing on your mama's couch, whatever, fuck you. Like, I'd much rather hear that than, cause you know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying? Than fucking, the other shit. Yeah. But
it's like, if Christian were to fuck your girlfriend, sorry for saying that.
Okay, no.
But it's like, you want to go get that shit back in blood. You know what I'm saying? You want to go beat his ass.
Absolutely.
So, what do you suggest? What would you do there?
I guess what I'm saying is, in a real life situation, well, do whatever you think is right? Well, I guess what I'm saying in that scenario, right? But what I'm saying is I don't disagree that the music, for example, promotes shit and gets into the heads of the young minds of the kids who are in that position and leads them to do dumb shit. So, for example, right? I've been listening to killer music ever since. Mm-hmm. I have never been like, I'm finna go sling some drugs. Yeah. Or I'm finna go shoot a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I've never felt that way in my life. Right? I may have thought it would be cool if I sold a little weed. It'd be a cool part of my story.
For the plot.
At least you can say one time.
I can say, I used to say that's cool, but I ain't never thought I'm finna go fucking beat the block and make this money off these drugs. I've never felt that way because I've never been in that environment. Right? So I think that there needs to be a level of responsibility with the artists, yes, but with the parents. We love to blame and people like to blame all the violence or whatever on the rap. What about Call of Duty? Niggas been shooting. What about Grand Theft Auto? Kids of every creed, race, color, and religion have been murdering people ruthlessly on video games for years. Right, but rap is for sure the issue. You know what I'm saying? Killing is base level for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like bloodlust is a part of American culture. We watch documentaries romanticizing serial killers. Women, he was so cute. Women love. True crime is the number 1 podcast genre. Hey, look out for background noise true crime episodes. But rap music is definitely the one. That's where we need to take responsibility. Fuck out of here.
These people who have minor criminal offenses like weed or something, any criminal offense, now you can no longer get a job.
See,
now you're selling drugs, and now you're
system.
You see what I'm saying? That's our fault.
That's real. I agree. I don't disagree. I'm not saying that you're wrong about that. And we hear that's why every year people keep talking about it, and eventually it's gonna have to be addressed.
For sure.
Here's another thing. Well, we've mentioned. I don't want to talk about that. We already talked about that. But I was just gonna say voting. Black people gotta stop vote for Democrats every year because they obviously aren't gonna fulfill our needs.
Yeah.
It's like we can take 4. Let's say we vote for a Republican and it doesn't work. What's 4 more years, nigga?
Oh, well, I don't know, Derek. With what I've been hearing, I don't know, bro.
We've been getting fucked every which way by both
I think that's
parties.
gonna happen regardless.
Right. So we might as well try some new shit to see what happens.
I don't know, Derek.
That new thing is just the end all be all, and it's
The world's gonna end regardless.
It's very true. Some niggas are very scared of that though. Some niggas want to avoid that at all costs.
That just doesn't make. It's like I don't understand why we know we're gonna get fucked. Let's switch positions then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. Sometimes you can get numb to one position. I wouldn't know, but I'm just saying, like, what if you can get numb to that position?
I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know. I just think that it's time to take a risk.
Yeah.
We've been doing the same shit for long enough. It's time to take a risk.
I mean, I feel like you also gotta be willing to, like, cause I try to encourage my friends who are like doing wrong to do right. Like, for instance, like I'll Instacart from time to time, and I have a brother who will add his own personal belongings onto their order. And yes,
That's really
you know what I'm saying?
that's really resourceful. Actually, I didn't
You know
know
what
you
I'm
could do.
saying? And you know,
How
they
do
have
you
a credit.
add? I did not know you could do that.
And then when you get to the receipt portion, you scan your personal items first and then just take a picture of the bottom half of the receipt. So you don't see, and they just pay for it because they think you got all of their items. And there's like a credit. So it's like, you know, and it's like, I'm like, bro, you can't steal. You can't do those things. But then it's like they have a problem getting a job and niggas are thirsty. So I'm going to Instacart and put a case of water on there.
Case is crazy. I'm thinking it's like a bottle.
No,
Maybe
like a
some
case
candy.
of water, rotisserie chicken, toilet paper, Gatorade, anything.
Think about it. Think about it. If you do, let's say you do 10 orders a day on Instacart, I'm good for the week.
Groceries.
Yeah, or even like door dashing. It's like I could just turn it on right now and get an order, not accept the order, but look for the name, look at the restaurant, go pick it up. Because I'm hungry, I'm starving. But yeah, I try to encourage people to do the right thing, and they're just like, nah, fuck that. I can get this all for free. Yeah. You know, so I feel like we have to be willing to change too. Like a lot of people like to be arrogant and ignorant, so it's on the individual too. Like there's only so much you can do sometimes.
And we can't use, like, I hate to be like golden rule, fire with fire type shit, but we can't use previous oppression to justify bullshit. At some point, it's gotta.
Oh, absolutely. That shit is not pee. I would be pissed off if you put a case of water on my shit. Like, what the heck? Like, no.
This is the last white sympathizing type thing I'm gonna say. But back to the conversation I had.
Is that what this has been?
That's what it's gonna
on
sound-
Juneteenth?
That's what people are gonna say.
You're canceled, Derek.
People are gonna say that I've been cooning.
We may have
right?
just lost all our demographic in one episode.
But check
No,
this out.
I understand what you're saying.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
You're not
it
being
sounds
like-
like cooning. It sounds like I'm taking up for the white man, but I just feel like it's a different perspective. But here's the last thing I'm gonna say, right? Those white people at my internship, they grew up in a poor white area. And it was like, bro, we have the same, can't get a job. My dad sold drugs, my brother sold drugs, so I'm gonna sell drugs, and I know I'm gonna go to jail at least once in my life. Like, they're experiencing that same fucking thing, and they're also have long rap sheets. It just doesn't make the news. It's just it's different because it's in the fucking backwater. That's just not happening in inner city Atlanta. That's just not happening in downtown New York. But it is happening in rural Arkansas and fucking Boise, Idaho, or wherever the fuck. You see what I'm saying? So there's so many similarities. The point I'm trying to make is there's so many similarities between us, and that's another reason why those poor ass redneck white folk that voted for Donald Trump don't see our plight, because they experience a lot of the same things we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the difference is, if they clean up, they maybe can get a job. But also, and Chris Rock, right? Because Chris Rock has the joke like white people hate rednecks, same way black people hate niggas, right? Like they experience a lot of the same things. So if I'm a poor white person from bumfuck South Carolina, I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna understand what poor black person from downtown DC is talking about. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But that white person is like, well, shit, you live in America too. You do enjoy the same rights I do, marginally or whatever. So why the fuck can't you be patriotic the way I am?
Yeah, but at the same time, they're still fucking white. Like going to Oregon, and I was looking for a job. I had a hard time on the applications, like on paper, and then all of my friends, like, she got called back immediately. She's a white girl. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's just that fucking sucks. Because I've never really experienced racism, but that alone, like, to see another white woman easily get jobs, like same jobs I'm applying for, you're getting called back same day. I couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand that. And then at the same time, they're like, oh, you're a black woman, you're a minority. We're absolutely going to hire you because we need to fill our quota.
Right, but right. Respect. And once again, I'm not saying niggas don't get to be mad about that. I'd like to just reaffirm that this shit is real, this shit is happening.
For sure.
And that shit shouldn't be happening. Yeah. But we need to address it as I'm an American being disproportionately oppressed because of the way the system is set up. Not I am a person that's totally removed from all of that. Sure. And you see what I'm saying? Yeah, this is not happening it is happening to a black person, but they need to understand this is happening to a black person that is an American. Right.
Yeah. It's still, I just feel like we could do all of that and it would still just be extremely hard for us is all. And people are not willing to put up that fight. I feel like it won't matter what I say. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still a black woman, you know? Like, have you seen those clips of, like, I don't know if it's Supreme Court, but those black women, like, going off in there? Yeah. You know, like, that's like, oh, my God, she's an angry black woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Although everything she's saying is true and she's educated and went to the same colleges as they did, but still, she's an angry black-ass woman. Yeah. How do we feel about, like, other races saying nigga, like the Hispanics?
No, we got to stop that. We got to stop that. If you're not melanated in any way, you can't say it. Yeah, I don't like that. They really say that. Nah.
With impunity.
And we let them niggas say that. You know how many Hispanics are in Clayton County? Them kids say it like they're black. The only person that loves black people like they should is and was Jesus Christ. That's it.
And the white people in California.
Well, that's.
Thank you, Kardashian family.
That's crazy.
And you're welcome, Kardashian family.
Wow.
Great symbiotic relationship going on between the Kardashians and the black community.
That's great.
Yes.
Ooh-wee.
For generations to come.
Because you know what's crazy? At the end of the day, even though they did eat off black people, they have black children. They get to enjoy generational wealth.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Well, way to go. Symbiotic relationship.
You had us in the first half for certain.
Way to go.
You had us in the first half for certain.
Still got us to a certain extent.
Indeed. It is.
More of that than we
Wow.
did.
Yeah, the nigga thing is really unacceptable.
Nah, but yeah, like that really, like I'm really starting to care about that a lot now too. Like I'm not going for that shit. Like I remember I went to St. Helena where my dad is from, right? And I'm just like my first weekend there. I go out with my cousins, and there's this guy there, and he's half white, half St. Helenian. But when you look at him, he's a white guy, white skin, long surfer type hair. Oh my goodness. And he says nigga. I'm like, whoa. Oh. Like it wasn't even like at me. He was like just talking. I was like, nah, bro, like don't do that. He's like, what? I was like, don't say nigga, bro. He was like, I'm black. I'm like, don't say nigga around me. I was like, he's like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say like, that's cool, but when you're around me, don't say it.
That's crazy.
And he respected it. And me and him ended up kicking it a lot while I was there. But he just didn't know. Like he was very ignorant. St. Helena, for those that don't know, is a small island, very remote. So they aren't very privy to kind of these kind of social nuances and shit like that. But like that was when I realized, like, yeah, like.
How far are y'all willing to go about it? Like, if a white person call you nigga, like, are you slapping the fuck out of him?
Well, no, I'm not gonna allow you to control me like that. Okay. Like, if you're being I want to allow you to talk to me any kind of way, but you're trying to bait me, and I'm not going for it. You know, I won't allow myself to be baited.
I don't know. I'd love for a white woman to just try it.
See, like now here's what I was gonna say. Like, I may like you won't get me to hit you, but I'll throw my drink at you. because I can't go to jail for that. You know what I'm saying?
man.
Like, but now
Not
if
the
you
gossip girl.
swing, but if you swing at me, well, now I'm defending myself. Like, I may do something like that, but you're not gonna get me just to hit you or push you because you said nigga.
So, why do you think it's okay? We can say nigga. Like, are we cool with that?
I'm cool with niggas saying nigga.
Yeah, because here's the thing. People love to say, like, oh, it's such an oppressive word. Like, my nigga. Like, or even if I'm mad at you, I'm saying, stupid ass nigga. Like, it's, we've made it our own, and we've made it something that we've made it a tool. We've used it to our advantage, and at the bottom line, that's what they don't like.
It's an amazing.
We use it to our advantage.
It's that word.
White people we colonized niggas.
Rap wouldn't be as good if we couldn't say nigga.
It wouldn't.
Niggas wouldn't be as cool if we couldn't say nigga.
It is exclusive to niggas. So
That nigga word is crazy.
It bothers them because they can't use it. That's the bottom line. It's not because if black people are like, you know what, anybody can say nigga, white people wouldn't have a problem hearing it. It's only an issue because they can't say it, not because it's wrong.
So we're not saying it in a negative way. Really.
I mean, sometimes I'll be mad and I'll be like, bitch ass nigga.
Yeah.
But like, you know.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Just don't put that ER in there.
Yeah, I'll never give up nigga. I ain't gonna lie, I'm never giving that shit up. That's all we have.
That's all we have.
That's the black dollar that regulates around the black community 14 days until it gets out. That's exactly what it is.
All right, y'all. We've been talking about black excellence for an hour and 13
That's
minutes.
crazy. I'm noticing the camera angles. That right there, that's a wide situation. And it's not like it's anything crazy. I'm sure niggas do this all the time. There was a part of the episode where I had a bit of a wedgie, and I'm just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? You know how you stretch the underwear a little bit? Yeah. You don't think they saw that, did you?
Oh no, you can see our entire bodies. They saw you.
I was wondering why you have it so low.
Well, it can raise more than that.
Hey.
Yeah, it goes all the way up.
They got direct access to me really pulling out a wedgie for real.
Well,
You're welcome.
You are welcome.
yeah, got their money's worth.
Money involved, but you know, if it works well enough.
I'll figure out a way around.
Listen, it's no big deal. Just wanted to get that out there.
There's a time where I sniff my armpit. I'm gonna zoom in.
Hey, was it in that position?
Hey, I was like, it was super obvious. Like, there's no way you didn't see it. I'm just gonna zoom in.
How often do you guys sneak that in there?
Armpit sniffs all the time.
Or just any body
I ain't gonna lie.
evaluation situation.
I hate when my drawers ride up my leg.
Oh yeah.
So like, I'm heavy on. I'll fucking do it. Pull that Nelson right out. You know what I'm saying?
Hoochie daddy shorts make it easier. That's why I like them. And the way mine are, they're hoochie daddies, but they're kind of loose. So I got direct access to that crevice that just pop it right out. It's really good stuff. So that's it. That's all I had to say.
Well, guys.
Wait, I do wanna. Can you zoom in while I'm talking?
Yeah.
Okay. I just
zoom
want
in.
to talk to all of the races that I addressed today.
Absolutely.
Hello. I would just like to apologize in advance if I have offended anyone today. These are just my observations and my firsthand experiences. I am still young. I am still learning, and I can't be racist because I'm black, mind you. But yeah, just want to say that we love everyone. Amen.
Well, everybody, if you just pulling into the driveway, if you just finished your workout, if you just got out the shower, if you just finished your chores, we appreciate you so much for having the very first episode of season 2 as your background noise. We love y'all to death. We appreciate the support. This season, we're having motherfucking guests. You know what I'm saying? We're adding some new shit. Of course, Unlicensed Therapy is coming back. You know what I'm saying? As you saw in this episode, we appreciate y'all so much. We love y'all. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Peace.